Listen, we would never erase this beautiful face. Look at this, scusi bella. It's a beautiful thing, folks. She, of course, in from Australia. She is the daughter of Sarah, of course, you know, Duffy Crago, and her father, Jeff Hall, and I go way back. Let's talk about your beautiful daughter. Zach Six is the grandson of Marvin Norm Six, is shooting this right now, and that's little Isabel. So what's going on in Australia?
You know, it's winter at the moment, so we're here visiting and yeah, just preparing our fruit season to start.
So tell the folks what you do over there. They have a fruit farm.
I am a farmer, believe it or not. I have a stone fruit property, which stone fruit is anything with a pip in the middle, so peaches, nectarines, apricots, plums, you name anything with a pip in the middle. So that's what we have.
No offense to her wonderful father, but his mother gave her the looks, folks. Make no mistake about it. And listen, it's so good seeing you.
So good to see you too. Thank you for having me.
I actually held her when she was younger than Isabel. Now look at her, she's all grown up. All right, there you go, folks. Tell Nicole Kidman I said hello.
I will.
I absolutely love Nicole Kidman, and that's the fact, and she's from Australia. All right, now you can leave.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, tell everybody who you are.
I'm Corey Vassal. I'm the chef down at Casa.
What should he eat tonight, John Parado and his lovely bride, Brenda?
Probably our special. We're doing a chicken parmesan half manicotti duo. So, with our house sauce and mozzarella cheese.
Just wrap this up right now.
Listen, it's free, so it's got to be good. Thank you very much. Come on, give me a hug. Even though they perspire in the kitchen working so hard, I want a hug. I want a hug. All right, they work so hard. Now listen, as I mentioned, Norm Six Recycling, Greg, of course, his son, big part of this East End, and of course the son Zach, he of course is Greg, and a grandson of none other than Norm Six is shooting this. So please give my family your best.
What's up, people?
Okay, here you go. See, smart kid. He knew to get on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, he is from Fan Rag Sports USA Today. John Parado and his lovely wife Brenda here tonight. We're going to talk some baseball. Yu Darvish, the Dodgers showing a little interest in this guy. And this really started before Clayton Kershaw went down with a back problem. And a guy who writes for the LA Times, Dylan Hernandez, said, look, regardless, they should go after this guy.
I think they should. I mean, they have a chance to win it all, and they haven't done it since 1988. They haven't been to the World Series since 1988. I mean, they clearly have a great team. I mean, they have the best record in baseball, and I think they have the money and they have the prospects to trade to get Darvish, and I think they should load up as much as they can and make a real run for it because they're really good. You'd hate to waste such a great opportunity in a year when you have so much talent.
Are they a safe bet to maybe say World Series champion?
Oh, I think they certainly would. If I had to pick someone today, I think they would have to be the favorite. To me, you know, them and the Houston Astros really have dominated each league, but to me, I think the Dodgers have a little bit better pitching, a little bit better defense than the Astros.
By the way, Dodgers are 12.5 in front of Arizona in the NL West. And Houston, they are 17 in front of Seattle in the American League West. Now, how do you pronounce their GM's name? Jeff what? Luhnow. He's saying they're rethinking the possibility of making a move because a couple of guys, in particular Dallas Keuchel is one of them, coming back from the DL. And so they just may stand pat for the 31st trade deadline. You think that's true?
You know, I could understand that possibility, but I think if they have a chance, talking to some of the people from the Astros here in the last week, you know, I know he's saying that publicly to kind of, you know, play a little shell game there, but I think if the Astros could get another starting pitcher, I mean, somebody that's a difference maker, not just somebody to throw out the back of the rotation, but not necessarily a Darvish, but maybe a Sonny Gray from the Oakland Athletics, somebody like that. You know, I think they would pull the trigger, and I know they've been sniffing around about Garrett Cole with the Pirates for quite a while now. The Pirates still kind of not in the race. I don't think they're in a real rush to trading, but if the Astros should bowl them over, you never know.
All right, he was on his show Sunday, 93.7 The Fan. GM Neil Huntington, he told Stephen Nesbitt of the PG, outfield market possibility, Polanco with a hamstring, and Marte ineligible for the postseason. McCutchen has surged 18 homers, 285 average, 61 RBI. So what do you think? Do you think they're going to do anything it would be for the outfield?
You know, I think so, but I think a lot of it, Rob's going to go right down to Monday and the deadline for non-waiver trading because, like I said, if all of a sudden they lose a couple more games in the standings and say they're 6 games out Monday morning, I don't know if you go out and make a whole lot of moves to make the team that much better, knowing that you've got a pretty much uphill climb because they really don't have a chance at a wild card this year. It's either win the division or bust. So I really think at this stage, you know, we're talking on a Thursday night, that it's still a very fluid situation here over the next 4 days. And the Pirates, want to be sellers or buyers and help go make a team better, they need to win the next few days. It's as simple as that.
Listen, follow his tweets, follow his Facebook, FanRag Sports, love what they do, USA Today. When it comes to baseball, and especially this trade deadline, no one better than this guy right here, and I mean that. Listen, even though they said he's off the table, why did I read an article today that Josh Harrison in Boston possibly still thinking, or is that like a few days old?
Well, I think it's a possibility because, you know, you look at next year and you're going to have some tough decisions to make. I mean, say they bring McCutchen back and exercise that option, he'll be making $14.75 million. Harrison's due to make $10.5 million in the last year of his contract. And I can't imagine the Pirates going over $100 million payroll, especially with their attendance down so much. So all of a sudden you're looking at two guys eating up a quarter of their payroll, and you throw in Garrett Cole, probably makes $7 or $8 million in arbitration. Marte makes $8 million. Freese makes $6 million next year. And all of a sudden, you know, you're going to have 5 or 6 guys eating up like almost half the payroll. And if you do that, then you have to pretty much throw out a lot of your roster with minimum wage players, like minor leaguers or veterans on non-guaranteed contracts. And, you know, it's hard to win that way. And, you know, I just can't imagine they're going to have that top-heavy of a payroll. So I think and again, it all really depends on what happens these next few days. But if Harrison isn't traded now, I'm sure you're going to look to shop him in the winter because not that he's not a good player and not that he's valuable, but I just don't think they want to pay him $10.5 million next year. And I don't think they can afford to unless they really raise the budget. And there's nothing that suggests to me that they're going to raise the payroll next.
Cubs finally, as they continue to make moves, and probably will before the trade deadline, they're in first place now. Who won the Milwaukee-Washington game?
Washington hit 8 home runs this afternoon, so they won. I forget what the final score was, but that came after Milwaukee blew a big lead last night on Wednesday night. So I think that the Brewers, and they've made a nice run this year, but it's starting to come apart at the seams for them here coming out of the All-Star.
And the Cardinals are starting to make a move a little bit.
They are.
Do they have enough meat and potatoes to get it done?
I don't know. When I've seen them this year, to me, they're not the Cardinals of old. They, you know, the Cardinals used to be they never beat themselves. You know, they were fundamentally sound. And, you know, they're like one of the worst defensive teams in the league this year, and they just. I saw it just in a couple games watching them live in Pittsburgh a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, coming out of the All-Star break. They were very sloppy. They made base running mistakes, they made fielding mistakes, but they're they're in it. But I also think the Cubs are starting to kick into gear now, and after they got Jose Quintana to bolster the rotation at the All-Star break, I think the Cubs are going to pull away here in the division.
The Nationals League East, Washington out with a big lead in that division, and then the Eastern American League, another division we want to cover before we move on to Cleveland. Boston in front of the Yankees by 1. Yankees, you know, I think they're close. A lot of these are homegrown. I still think that they're going to do something at the trade.
I think they will. You know, they made the trade last week, and they got a couple of relievers, and Todd Frazier to play third, and I think they're going to add a starting pitcher.
I'm a fan of Hank Steinbrenner. Should I be?
Why not?
I am.
You know, everyone says, well, the Yankees have all this money, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? They spend their money wisely, too, for the most part. They've made a few mistakes with free agents, but, I mean, you know, they pay a lot of money in revenue sharing on top of it, you know, and they still spend big. And you know, it's an interesting division because, to me, the Red Sox are the most talented team, but the Yankees are hanging in there. And, you know, right there is on everyone's tail, and nobody at all talks about them are the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 2 games out, and everybody acts like they're in last place. And I mean, they're good enough. Their pitching's pretty good, and they hit home runs, and they might win the division. I wouldn't bet a whole lot of money on it, but I also wouldn't count them out.
You know me, Aaron Judge. I just have to know. Is he the real deal?
Oh yeah, I think so. I know he slumped for a while, and coming out, you know, at the beginning.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I was in Miami for the All-Star game. You know, I'm not a big home run derby guy.
No.
And I know they choose the balls. But to watch him where he hits some of those balls at Marlins Park, it was just amazing, especially the one that they said if the roof would have been open, would have went clear out of the stadium in left field. And the only thing stopping it was the fact that the roof was closed, or it would have left the entire ballpark. I mean, that's amazing stuff. I mean, you know, it just so big and so strong. He has such a short swing for a big guy. You know, usually bigger guys, you think about Mark McGwire, for example, you know, Dave Kingman way back in the day.
Frank Howard.
And they struck out a lot because they had big swings, but this guy's it's like boom, a little kind of quick swing right through the zone, and it's very impressive. And even more impressive is when you talk to him.
Nice
He's
kid.
a great kid. And, I mean, he really has his head on tight. And, you know, you talk to the Yankees people, and I know I was in spring training, and Susan Waldman, who's been their color commentator on the Yankee Radio Network for a long time, she says, even if you're not doing a story on why you're here, she goes, go over and introduce yourself to Aaron Judge. He's such a great kid. And I did, and I was just amazed at just how well-spoken, just a genuinely nice kid that he is.
You've always had a way of building relationships with players and managers and administration in Major League Baseball better than a whole lot of people. That's why I've always respected you. One of your best relationships is with Terry Francona. Cleveland 54-45, a game in front of Kansas City. The best deal they did was sign him as manager.
Yeah, and they're starting to put it in gear too. And I think, you know, the Royals are hanging tough. They've won 8 in a row. You know, the Indians just had a 6-0 home stand. They swept the Blue Jays, they swept the Angels, and I think they're starting like the Cubs. I think that they're catching their second win finally. They're starting to get it in gear. You know, Terry's back. He missed a week. He's in the hospital, had a heart procedure right before the All-Star break, and they seem to be finally hitting on all cylinders. And, you know, I think they're at the point now where they may not need to make a trade. I know a lot of people thought they should go out with an outfielder or maybe get a starting pitcher, but the way they've been playing the last week, I think they're going to be fine just as they are, and you know, I just think the Royals are going to have a hard time. Much like the Brewers, I mean, the Royals are the other way. They're hot right now, but in the end, I can't imagine the Royals outlasting the Indians.
How honored I am to have John Pratte and his lovely wife Brenda here tonight. They're going to eat, and I'm going to go to work putting this all together, and we'll get it up on Facebook and YouTube before the night is over. Don't forget, Bruce Tanner, Sunday at 11:30. He's the president of Bruce Tanner Fan Club.
Indeed. Bruce Tanner. Good Lord.
He's good, though, isn't he?
Oh, he's tremendous.
Thanks to you, that's why I discovered him.
He should do the Sunday night game.
He's good.
The best color commentator in baseball.
He's good. I can carry his bags.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Ladies and gentlemen, 11:30 on the Coos Market Black and Gold Sunday Show. From Casa de Emmanuel, don't forget Lou's Street Market every single Sunday from 11 until 5, adjacent to this great place so you can come over and enjoy some fine dining. Ciao. Good night.